afternoon. Not looking good for a live stream today. There is no in-play stats feed just yet. Of course, you know how important that is. I'll try it on Explorer. Hopefully the Wi-Fi will be okay. So let's see if this is a Google issue. I'll just head off to YouTube, see if I'm actually streaming. I'm sorry about the Wi-Fi issues. Thankfully, they're coming at the end of the season. We've had lots and lots of good live streams. But now, with no in-play stats feed, it's going to be difficult to trade on the hoof. I don't know what to do. I'll have to find out. So let's make sure I'm getting broadcast. Looks like I am. Do sign in if anybody's watching. Hi, Stephen. I'm afraid, as you can see, unless we can get the feed working, I've just got to remember my login now. So let me know if your feed is working. That way I'll know whether it's just an issue with me. Hope it's just an issue with me. Let's see whether working with no live matches right now. Well, here we go. This is looking a lot livelier, isn't it? Brilliant. So this could be, nope, looks like we're back up and running. Perfect timing. Phew, wipes sweat from brow. Anybody else watching, if you could just say hello as well, because as you know, I've had Wi-Fi issues. I've got to make sure that this is live and there are people watching, otherwise I'm talking to myself. Yeah, soccer scanner's working. Well, as you can see, the guru is back on. So let me get myself organized with any standout. So anybody else watching, please sign in. It can't just be me and Stephen. So if somebody else could sign in, please, I'd appreciate that. Otherwise, I don't know whether we're running or not. If it is just me and Stephen, well, he's got an exclusive session. Alaves and Mallorca already 2-1. I think that's job done, isn't it? And moving down, see if we can capture any likely ones as we're waiting for the Bundesliga to begin. So just working our way down. Thankfully, it's coming back on just at the right time. Palermo, you'd think they'd be up for the fight today. Looking at their league position, similar story for Frosinone, have been very reliable. You can see that 4 wins in 5 matches for Frosinone. Those are the two standouts for me, along with a bit later on our old pals Venezia. Parma and Pisa, I did say in the video, lay over 0.5 goals at the start of the match. If this gets to 0-0 at half time, you've got a free lay the draw second half. As long as the match doesn't end in a score draw, you will pick up a very good value lay the draw. So we're 33 minutes in at the 0-0, so it's all going rather well. Anybody else watching, please sign in. Anybody else? Hello? I'm not sure. Oh, well, I'll keep going. It's normally a little busier, but I'm not sure. Maybe the issues from the last few weeks. So I'll see how far I can go with this live stream today. So the Bundesliga is beginning. difficult match, Wolfsburg and Mönchengladbach, because they're just so poor. Augsburg and Frankfurt, well, season over really for Augsburg. Again, it's not a match which greatly appeals. With Heidenheim opening the scoring, you might see some fight from St. Pauli. They definitely need points, and Bayern Munich just keep winning. Normally, when they've won the title, they do tend to go off colour in the league and start to get vulnerable with that winning mentality not required anymore. Bayer Leverkusen, a sneaky suspicion for them today. They've been quietly doing their work, but having said that, 2 consecutive defeats in all competitions. French League 2, Reims already a goal up, and looks like that is match over. It was a must-win territory for Reims. Le Mans as well. They've been collecting the W's of late, as you can see, with a 1-1 80th minute. Keep an eye on any momentum that might start to rise for Le Mans. They are looking down the barrel at automatic promotion spot with a win today. So that's the kind of motivation I look for. Lyon on Auxerre. Lyon. Auxerre being difficult. Beggars again. Ask Marseille last week. Auxerre putting together a really solid unbeaten run of late. I did tell you it would be a bit of a tricky one for Lyon. They did open the scoring though. This might not be over. But they are tricky customers, Auxerre, in that push for points. So those are the important matches at the moment, 2:30 onwards. So we've got a nice bunch to look at. So it's just me and Stephen then at the moment. Anybody else watching, if you could just please sign in, I would appreciate that. That would be great, just to make sure that I know things are running, you can hear me, etc. And please accept my apologies if I go offline. You'll know it'll be a dip in the Wi-Fi, which frustratingly will come back on very quickly, but we'll have lost the chat. So if I do disappear, it would be a Telegram service only. This is the new look Football 24, which I quite like. What I like about this is I can pick matches off which serve no purpose at the moment. Early season, Sweden, no great interest there. I have actually picked my own league, so I'm not sure why it's picking up the Czech 1 league, etc. This should be the main leagues, and I do like this website. As I say, it's my new stop-off point, looking at the score and then go to the in-play stats. For example, we can have a look at Grenoble and Le Mans, because we know here it is. Being a bit quiet, 1 shot on target to 2 shots on target. Second half, only 10-minute gaps between the shots on target. A tough encounter for Le Mans today. But do keep an eye. If the momentum is working, we will be looking at the brown to move upwards suddenly in a northerly direction. Right at the end of the match, foot on the gas. Can they get another W to help out their automatic promotion prospects? It's very, very tight, isn't it? The top 5. So we're looking on that one with interest, as long as this feed is working. Köln are starting brightly. Difficult match, so says the market. Only 1.91 for Bayer Leverkusen. Köln putting up a good fist of it. We can see if we move down where they are. FC Köln, 12th on 31. Far too many teams on 31. It's a decent enough gap, 5 points to St. Pauli, who are losing at the moment. But it's if St. Pauli win and that lot lose, Köln, Mönchengladbach, both playing now, Hamburg and Werder Bremen. So it's an important day at the bottom today. Köln, Mönchengladbach, St. Pauli. St. Pauli losing at the moment. They do need to win, as you've seen. Look at Köln putting in a good fist of it. Maybe if Köln score first, we might get an angle, given the 4 draws in 5 matches. Parma and Pisa, well, we're getting to the 40th minute at 0-0. So one of these matches, as I've shown you this season, if you lay over 0.5 goals at the start of the match, get to 0-0 at half time, draw odds will be significantly shorter. You could lay the draw. As long as this match does not end in a score draw, you will pick up a value lay of the draw, be far shorter than it was pre-match. And you've got the insurance on the 0-0. So you could delay as well. If you've laid over 0.5 goals, this is 0-0 at half time. You can simply wait second half. If you think there's going to be more 0-0 second half, draw odds will get lower and lower, and you can have a free low liability lay. Wish I could have shown you that, but I was just arriving on my motorbike. Long old trip, but I made it. So Lyon on Auxerre is getting to half time. Auxerre putting in a good fist of it at the moment. They have to, don't they? They will still remain in the bottom 3 with a win today, picking up points. They're not losing, but they're dropping 2 points with every draw. Lyon have to look after their Champions League spot. It's as simple as that. Lille could be eyeing that. We've got a goal come in, and it's gone to Mantova against Sud Tirol. What we can do with these, have a look at Italian Serie B, see if that goal is of any importance. So we'll just, this is the live standings, which will come in very handy as we're in the business end of the season. You'll see the swings and roundabouts as goals come in. Already a 2-0 lead for Mantova. So 0-0 for Frosinone at the top. You can see the unbeaten run for the top 5 in the last 5 matches. 5 out of 5 W's last week. Are we going to be seeing that again? If so, you'll be looking at these draws late on for a possible lay, particularly for Frosinone, with Monza already playing and winning against Modena. That was a banker bet. A win today for Fros, and they are in that automatic promotion spot. No need to worry for a short while about the playoff heartache. So Frosinone is the kind of side I really like to pin my hopes on, particularly when they're odds on, particularly at home. As you can see here, Carrarese putting in a good fist of it at the moment. Reggiana and Palermo, we've got an equal story with these two as well. So that draw could be vulnerable later on. Palermo, you can see in 4th. A win today for Palermo will take them into 71 points. And that's edging towards the 70-point barrier you need for automatic promotion. Reggiana, desperate need for points, really. They need to turn that draw into a win. So this is a really good match to lay that late draw, isn't it? Plenty of motivation for both teams. Possible season changing for both teams as well, because they'll be shifting from the relegation to the relegation playoffs. And while Empoli are on 37, there's still a hope. They'll go to 36 with a win. And Mainz have taken the lead. Now, is this the beginning of Bayern Munich wobbles after they've won the title and they've got the Champions League in mind? They have not put a foot wrong so far. Hi, Bosun. Nice to see you. I hope the broadcast is still working okay. Oh, I've got the live chat there. Great. I hope it's working okay. I think we've got poor attendance because of the last 2 live streams not working. But you can see Palermo putting the foot on the gas. And we've just seen the credentials for that. So that draw, I think, well, we didn't get the Ipswich winner late on. Palermo, we'll keep an eye on this one because they are going for it against Reggiana. So it's already decent enough odds. But we'll keep an eye on that. It's a good set of stats, and we know the need for automatic promotion. 3 wins in 4 as well for Palermo. They're used to winning. Getting to half-time, Lyon and Auxerre. Difficult one to call with that really good performance against Monaco for Auxerre last week. We did get the 2-2. We didn't get the 3-2 Monaco win. Frosinone will be one for the second half if it remains 0-0 half-time. Carrarese putting in a good fist of it, but I think their season is done and dusted. You realistically need the 50-plus point barrier to have any change out of this Serie A B at this stage. Frosinone's motivation is huge. Can't underestimate. They will go top 2 on goal difference with a win, so that draw should be vulnerable second half. Picking up the W's, as you can see there. Le Mans as well should be vulnerable second half if they've got any inclination to go into the automatic promotion places. Might be still remaining. No, they will if Saint-Etienne don't win and Le Mans do. So far it's 1-1. Story of the match, they did come from behind, so I missed a play there. That would have been a good one, given the motivation for Le Mans to do something today. Again, that draw, vulnerable. Preferably use the time pressure very, very late on in the match when they're running out of time and they've got to really change tactics and go hell for leather. That opens up the opponents then to a shock goal as well. So that's why I like very, very late plays. Mönchengladbach and Wolfsburg. Oh, no, thank you. No appeal on paper. Similar story, Augsburg and Eintracht Frankfurt. Very little to motivate these two as well, with Bayer Leverkusen in the 50-point barrier. It's been a poor season for Frankfurt. I think they'll admit that. They should be vying for the Champions League spots at the very least. Heidenheim and St. Pauli, you can see the league positions. Well, we'll have to scroll down. That's how poor these two are. Heidenheim, 19 points. St. Pauli on 26. Heidenheim arguably down, aren't they? Leading at the moment. And a surprise pre-match favourite. St. Pauli, a couple of draws of late. A couple of 1-1 draws against Union Berlin and FC Köln. So against teams in that lower section, you can see 11th and lower getting the draws recently. St. Pauli desperately need a win. They need to go to 29 points and hope Werder Bremen have an off day when they next play. Hamburg have got a tough fixture on 31 as well. They are at home to Hoffenheim. And Mönchengladbach are away to Wolfsburg. So there's no gimmies there. So that's why St. Pauli, not fancied by the market. I would have expected more of a fight against a team they would have looked at for a possible win. With that lead for Mainz, do we automatically side with Bayern Munich? Or are we getting to that stage now where they're going to be shuffling the pack? As I said to you, we've seen it in seasons past, we get Bayern Munich defeats as soon as they've wrapped up the title. Now we're doubly in with the Champions League as well. So let's just see if there's any important fixtures coming up. So these are my banker bets, not banker bets, but the best watch lists. So you can see, are there any Germans? Well, yes, Mainz and Bayern Munich, just purely down to that 2-goal element. Only Augsburg have stopped them from scoring. I'm just going to go forward and see whether we've got Champions League football coming up. It's been a bit slow, Soccer 24, but we're up and running. So we've got to check on Bayern Munich. This could be a sticky wicket for them today. I would suspect if there is a Champions League match, you won't be seeing Luis Diaz or Sir Harold of Kane or any of the big boys. Highly unlikely. It's not going to be a Champions League match on a Monday. No. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, alarm bells should be ringing. Now, we know they've already won the title, but we know they're consistent 2-goal heroes, aren't they? Just boom, 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 boom. Unbelievable, Jeff. But this is the opportunity for Mainz, because I suspect we are not seeing that full Bayern Munich contingent today. And I doubt we'll be seeing them at all, to be honest. It's not they don't need the 3 points. They've got the title wrapped up. So the lineup should be yeah, there we go. They've got Jackson up front, Goretzka. A surprise to see Diaz still playing. I thought he would be an excellent tool against Paris Saint-Germain. Pavlodac and a cartoon character called Undai. So they're even employing cartoon characters pre-Champions League now. Kim, Ito, Davies. That's not the 4. And we've got Urbig, who looks like he's just got out of school. So you can see this is a pre-Champions League 11. So it's not a tradable match today for Bayern Munich, unless you see it as value. On the bench, you can see as well the absence. Well, no, we've got Sir Harry of Kane, we've got Michael Olise, Manuel Neuer. He's only going to come on if Urbig gets injured. So it's a very interesting Bayern Munich 11. Alarm bells, alarm bells, alarm bells. Won't be touching this one. Might play it late, but there's zero motivation factor for Bayern Munich. No bust a gut, and it's not the first 11 by a country mile. So glad I've looked at that one. Le Mans didn't add to that 71st minute shot on target. It's very poor, isn't it? Every 10 minutes or thereabouts for a shot on target. It's not consistent. It's not pressured, is it? It's just sporadic. And that's the sign of a good Grenoble defence. But match over for Le Mans. They will be disappointed here to have just gained a point, but that will be enough as things stand to see them in that automatic promotion spot with Saint-Etienne playing. Don't know if they're playing now or playing a bit later on. Checking any goals coming in. It's been a little quiet. I won't be playing Alaves Mallorca. You can see we can just nip these in the bud now. Mantova and Sud Tirol, got no great interest in that, with better quality football coming at 3 o'clock that we can pick from. So we've got the Bundesliga matches. No need to get rid of any of those yet. So I like this new Football 24. It's one to add to your collection. Choose your leagues up here rather than having every single match ping up. And you can change the sound as well if you've got a specific match of interest. So if you're trading Lyon and Auxerre, you can change the sound. These are just, I don't know if you can hear them, if you're getting the system volume or not, but it's very good. Very good new Football 24. It's a lot more reliable than the old one. So I'm hoping this is a very good sign, and it's be a useful tool for you to continue to have as well. Work your way from the score lines that come in here first. Anything untoward, we straight here. We're checking out the match. We're seeing anything untoward. So let's just have a look at the 3 o'clocks. I want to bring up some of the 3 o'clocks of interest for a shortlist. Hope you're all okay on YouTube and it's still going well enough. Where was I headed now? Confusing myself now. We were going to have a look at the 3 o'clocks, weren't we? down here. So I'll just work my way down, pick up any potential banker bets or shortlisters first for their in-play stats, because it's been a good tool to use, shortlisting the amount of matches you're covering on a particular day to the quality ones that you've already got a good opinion on pre-match. Tends to be a good avenue in. You can make a more confident play, particularly if the stats are backing up your pre-match thoughts. You can see the 3 o'clocks are getting busy. Elite Serien, well, we can have a look at why Viking are 1.57 today. Well worth a look. It's one of our summer leagues. You can see the 3 o'clocks are populating. And that's a new friend in my condo while I've been away, a gecko. Been looking after the insects for me. Let's have a look. Nothing much in Serie B. I think the Serie B ones of interest I've already sided with at the top. We're just going to look at the English. So here we begin, the Premier League. And of course the must-wins today, even though the pre-match market, you can see, is horrendous. The market's just telling you David Moyes is going to give them a hell of a match. Crystal Palace are slowly going about their work. 5 points from Europe, only 2 defeats since February. I think they could give an odds-on favourite Liverpool a bit more of a match than the market suggests. And of course, it's a must-win for the Spuds, who, if they were anywhere near that 2-2 in their last match, I think they'll be happy with that. They've got some important returnees, haven't they, today? We'll have a look at the team news for that. James Maddison et al., if you can confirm that. Looking at English, as you can see, it's just populating. Anything standing out for me in the lower tiers? Cambridge United, of course. They have been a trader's delight. Ordinarily, I've got to get them because it keeps pushing it down with all the new matches coming on board. Well, a 2-0 for Mainz, so I'm glad I didn't get involved just yet. There has not been an ounce of interest yet for Bayer Leverkusen. Mainz. Bayern Munich. Well, we know all about that, don't we, already? Now, maybe if we start getting Mainz layable at 1.1, this is still Bayern Munich, isn't it? These sides just have a way of doing things as well. And of course, when you're trying to impress the manager, very rarely getting a foot in the door. This is a prime occasion with the big guns rested. Watch out though, 60th, 65th minute. I don't know if Vincent Kompany will risk any of the big boys. I certainly wouldn't. You don't need the points. It's a pointless match. Literally pointless match for Bayern Munich. Anything else in the lower tiers catch my eye? Cardiff still odds on. Very strange to see. Burton Albion and Exeter. Well, you're going to have to get some fight from Exeter now with matches running out. And they are in all sorts of bother. Plymouth are playing bottom side Port Vale. Plymouth are on an unbeaten run of 4. The market fancies them. I've been impressed with Huddersfield of late, but they're not turning their solid performances into W's. But well worth keeping an eye on today. I won't be bothering with Cardiff, dead rubber, but they're probably going to do what Coventry did after they won the league. They won the next home match. Kind of celebratory. 3 wins in 4 for Cardiff. Luton. Yes, I like Luton, but we keep getting pushed down. I'm just going to find Luton. Been, again, a trader's dream in this run-up. They really have. I think that's the main matches. We need some space here. And my last one will be Norwich, who I really do like. So we know already you're skating on thin ice playing Bayern Munich today. That new keeper might just be struggling in his first Bundesliga match proper. And it's a different back four as well, isn't it? It's not your usual Champions League back four. Goals come in. Not sure if I missed one. Palermo and Reggiana. No, that's still half time, so no problem. Hope you're all okay over on YouTube. Again, got the goal coming in. Oh, all the way down here. An opener for Aberdeen. And an opener for Bristol Rovers. Normally we get a little box come up here to tell me the scores on the Diana doors, but I can't see it. So I'll come here whenever I see a goal. Normally you could put this on your mobile phone at the side of your laptop so you can have it in immediate view. But I like looking up and down the score lines and then marrying the stats with it and then investigating like we've just done here. It's a no-go zone, Bayern Munich today, that is for sure. Have a quick look through some of the early Bundesliga matches. Very quiet so far. Again, a goal has arrived. Plymouth Argyle already against bottom side Port Vale. Absolutely no surprise there. Waiting for the half times to begin with Lyon on Auxerre. We might see some fight second half from Auxerre with their 3 consecutive draws. But Lyon could do with putting some distance between themselves and Lille in that battle for the Champions League spot, that top 3. It's troubling Lille's proximity to Lyon. But Auxerre are stubborn old bar stewards. You can see that with a win and 3 draws, including a decent draw against Monaco. Reggiana Palermo, we know all about this one. Plenty to pull both of these two to end that draw. You'll be aiming more towards Palermo, wouldn't you, on the in-play stats? And the fact that the momentum graph has been solidly on their side for the proximity, for the whole of the match. So far, it's all aligning well for them. They did come from behind as well. So they've got the fight in them today, Palermo. Can they put the cherry on top, get the win that they need for that possible automatic promotion run? They have to get into that 70-point barrier. They will do so with a win today. 71 points with a win today. Frosinone will be eyeing a goal second half, I would suspect as well. But it's been a pretty poor set of shots on target, and indeed a pretty poor set of dangerous attacks. Under 20 in the first half there. Not the greatest set of stats on the planet. Compare that to 25 here. And you see 40 here for Lyon. So it's been a bit blunt for Frosinone and Carrarese of late. Oxford United scoring against Sheffield Wednesday. Well, I thought Oxford United might be gettable today. Certainly have a tickle if they're anywhere down 1.1 with enough time left in the match. But they don't have a useful over 2.5 goal record. Preston North End have scored first against Sheffield United, who are strong odds-on favourite today for some reason. But for me, with the season petering out, the Blades didn't really make any great appeal. I can't fit them on my watch list at the moment. I'll get rid of Accrington. And then I'll put the Blades up here. I didn't fancy them last week at odds on as well. And they got that loss. Their season is over, I think. And I think there's been a goal. We need that confirmed. Preston North End. All the way down here. Plymouth Argyle red card against Port Vale. Well, Port Vale got absolutely nothing to fight for today. You can see my watch list match is starting to develop. As I can say, got a little sneaky suspicion Crystal Palace could be a right pain in Liverpool's rear end today. Watch out. I was surprised when I did the research. I've just gone slowly, silently under the radar. Confirmation of that Sheffield United conceding first. I will check the in-play stats, see if the market's accurate. Of course, this is a must-win for Tottenham Hotspur today. There is no two ways about this. Let's have a look at the team news. Is it promising for Spuds fans? James Maddison, perhaps. Some quality in these set pieces. Let's have a look. Dominic Solanke, Simons Bissouma, Kolomuani, Bentancur, Gallagher, Pedro Porro, Danso, Van der Beek, Spence, and Kinski. Kinski, good for him, eh? Putting in some good performances after that awful European show. Kulusevski still out. I don't see. We see Maddison on the bench. That is great news for Tottenham. Probably managing his minutes, I would suspect. All hands to the pump. 55, 60 minutes if it's still a draw or the Spuds are losing. Great to see James Maddison on. Dragusin is one of the top flight first 11 players as well. And of course, we know all about Richarlison, who has fallen out of favour. I would have expected him, after some of his season-ending heroics with other clubs, to have been included in the first 11 from the off. But they've gone with Dominic Solanke. It's becoming a stronger and stronger Spud side. Wolves, this is just the kind of match for them. The long goodbye to the Premier League at home, just to cause some mischief. Just like them, isn't it? So we'll watch that with interest. Slaven Belupo, we can get rid of that today with better quality football. Birmingham City scoring first against Bristol City. Don't have a strong opinion on that one. I won't be playing Port Vale at all myself, but up to you if you want to check the in-play stats for Port Vale. Could be a rare opportunity for them to do something today. They are bang smack at the bottom of the league. So let's check out some in-play stats. Second halves are beginning. Lyon and Auxerre. It's a difficult one to call because for me, Auxerre have some defensive capabilities about them. Monaco, one of their two goals was a penalty. So that does mask some improved defensive stoutness. I suppose the best angle in, we wait for time pressure to tell on Lyon. Champions League place is being threatened by Lille. So they've got to do something. 2 consecutive wins as well for Lyon. But they are facing some stubborn old bar stewards in Auxerre. Cardiff City opening up against Northampton. Let's get rid of this. It is a dead rubber. Northampton are relegated. Cardiff, I think, are up, aren't they? Yes, you could play the long hurrah in front of home support if you wanted. But if you start losing money playing dead rubbers, don't come crying to me. Still going to wait and look at the Blades. Are they going to be bringing on Sean Bean later on off the bench to get them out of trouble? I don't see any motivating factor for them, which struggles for me to get the motivation required to take on a Preston lead. Similar story for Preston as well. There is no playoff. There is no relegation dogfight. This is a mid-table mediocrity kick in the park. There is some argue they'll be looking for the big bucks. Maybe if they break into the top 10, 3 points away from that, perhaps. I think you get additional payments for the higher you stay up to incentivize you to remain in when the motivation is left. This is what we saw last week, and I was puzzled last week. I think it was last week when the Blades were odds-on favourite as well, and they just didn't turn up. They're not turning up. Preston are on exactly the same points. Zero motivating factor at all. So it's a strange one to have an odds-on favourite at home in. We can oppose the market. Ross County against Greenock Morton. I won't be playing that one. Won't be playing Queen's Park Dunfermline. Like to play, particularly the top two, Partick Thistle and who else was it? St Johnston. But the liquidity and the fact we've got better quality football elsewhere means we can be nice and choosy today. Nordic United been worth following in the Super Eton, newly promoted side, but we'll be following them more once the big boys are done and dusted. These are your summer leagues. We're getting to the 4:15s now, so I'm a bit ahead of myself, getting rid of some matches we don't really need a bit later on. See the goals coming in for QPR against Derby County. And there's an opening goal for Bayer Leverkusen. I thought there was a goal for Köln. I'm getting that mixed up, aren't I? With there's a goal for Frosinone, so I should have reminded you to lay that draw. Sorry about that, but it will, I think, stand for Reggiana and Palermo, but I do prefer to use the time pressure of late on. Just when he's end 0-0, it can be so frustrating, particularly when you go full liability and you've got a real good story as well. But Reggiana, Palermo, they're both pulling for the win, so I'm going to get that ready, which I've already got ready. Taking insurance out, well, you could lay over 2.5 goals and then sit on it if you think this will be tight, or just going to lay that draw as late as I dare. The later the better, because there'll be more time pressure involved. But you can see the goals are flowing in Italian Serie B now. Getting to half-time in the Bundesliga, Heidenheim leading St. Pauli, who must win, but they don't seem to have the fight or indeed the quality to do it. But they're playing a fellow struggler who they should be eyeing for something today. Goal for Exeter City. This is an important goal for Exeter City today. They're not fancied by the market, but they desperately need 3 points to get out of this relegation zone. So I'll be watching Burton Albion with interest to see whether, I know I don't like taking them on. I would love them to get the 3 points. Exeter, fantastic, lovely job, fantastic stuff there. So 0-1. You can see Burton Albion 1.61 favourite. Well, yes, this is your archetypal relegation 6-pointer, isn't it? Exeter must take points off Burton Albion. And they are doing so at the moment. 51 points for the win. Must take points, Exeter, because otherwise if Burton get the win, they're zooming up to 55, while Exeter remain under 50 points, and that's likely to be the death knell for relegation. This is a do or die, I think, for Exeter. Break into the 50-point barrier and keep one of the sides in the bottom 6 in the bottom 6 at the same time. Bring them within a point. So, good luck. Well, we did get a goal for Port Vale if you took on that Plymouth lead. We've got an opening goal for Mansfield against Huddersfield, who are on a run of draws at the moment. That could be well worth pursuing. I should have this one up here. I did fancy Huddersfield earlier on. And indeed, we'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on this one. As you can see, they've had some battling qualities to them, and they do have an argument. On 64 points, a win today takes them to 67. It's getting to that stage now. Any of these top 9, top 10 who don't have a W or a D, they can say goodbye. So this could be a vital one. And again, it's a must take points off your nearest rival for Mansfield, like Exeter. They must take points off Huddersfield. Why? They get to 61. Huddersfield stay on 64. That's one of their rivals. Press the pause button. Mansfield get another W. They'll be up to 64. But the matches are running out, which makes, again, these wins today for sides who need to win against near rivals, Burton, Exeter, Huddersfield, Mansfield, they make them doubly important. Form is with Burton. Heart is with Exeter. Similar story here. Although similar recent form for both. A lot of Ds. Well, now this could be interesting. They're not going to go for it, Bayern Munich, at all. I did warn you about this in the video this morning. If he takes on, if he brings on Harry Kane and playing Luis Diaz, that's just a strange one for me. But have a look at the odds. They have done this kind of nonsense before, Bayern Munich. They were 2 goals down earlier after winning the league, and they came back and did not lose. If you're getting anything stupid, well, I did say 1.1 was tolerable, didn't I? So we can investigate that second half. So that's the last goal of interest there. Let's keep an eye on our half times as we get to the Bundesliga half times. We've got the second half's beginning, and already we've got that Frosinone goal, which is a pity. So I think I will take that off the watch list. I was really looking for that draw to be ending, similar with Palermo and Reggiana, but Palermo, with 10 minutes gone, have not added to their shots on or off target. And indeed, the momentum that they had in the first half, you can quite clearly see, has not continued into the second half. So I'm just going to wait for this one to blossom a little. I wouldn't be laying this draw unless it's going to be very, very late. I've just got that niggly suspicion Auxerre, like Crystal Palace, could be a royal pain in the backside. Luton Barnsley 1-0, so an opening goal for Luton, who are one of my banker sides. I'm starting to put the banker sides here. Slavia Prague, for example, Sigma Olomouc. That would be one of interest because the Prague sides in the Czech one league, week in, week out, continue to have some fight. So I will sacrifice Norwegian Elite Serien, bring up the Czech one league. So just have a look, see if they've got any fight in them, Slavia Prague. They're not guaranteed to win every week, but they've got such a good record. Well worth following, particularly if they concede the first goal. Pre-match 1.33, so if you're tickled by that after 18 minutes, getting a 1.33 favourite at evens, I might be tempted in. That is quite good value. We're likely to be facing in a liquid market, though. That's the problem there. We've got a Padova goal against Vietas Entella. Preston North End, 2 goals up against the Blades. As I say, I wasn't seeing why the Blades are odds-on favourite. They've got nothing to play for at all. But as ever, if you did fancy a touch of the Blades, 0-2 is a good entry point. If you're willing to take the liability loss. I can't find an argument for the Blades at all, I'm afraid. Oh, that's it. Well, 1.12 for Mainz. Where were we headed? I've lost my track now. We were looking at Norwich. No, Parma. No, weren't looking at that. I'll have to go through again. Senior moment. Reggiana Palermo. Weren't looking at that one. We've got a shot on target beginning there. So I'll begin again and I'm sure it'll click with me. Well, there's the opening goal by Leverkusen. Parma and Palermo, half an hour in. Let me just show you if you did lay over 0.5 goals, what your scenario would be. And I couldn't lay over 0.5 goals. I was on my motorbike. You'll have laid over 0.5 goals at the start of the match at 1.1. Cost you £4. let's say you've got a £40 liability, or no, you're winning, looking to win £40. So you're going to have £40 profit on unders, or whatever it is now, gone from 1.1 up to 1.7. You've got a green screen here, but importantly, that 0-0 is insured. Now, you've got your £40 you can use as a full liability. Imagine. Now, you can get that draw at evens. If this match ends in anything other than a score draw, you will have doubled your money on the draw, minus a £4 liability, ensuring that 0-0. I do come up with these matches mostly in Italy, mostly in Italian Serie A. But when they do come off, you've got a free punt second half. So do look out for them and do listen to them in the videos. I do mention them in the morning. That was one of them. Couldn't remind you, I'm afraid, on the old motorbike. Getting stuck in Sriracha, as you do. Not the sauce, but the town. So for a quick look through, it's nothing doing, is it? Pause button has been pressed. Leon and Auxerre. Hope you're all okay. Diaz is suspended for Tuesday's match. Thank you very much, Bosun. That confirms why you've got such a high quality player playing for Bayern Munich today. He might get them a goal or two to put the Frighteners up Mainz second half. He is quality and he'll have something to bite at as well. So you might get some value play there. Not interested. Not interested. Heidenheim, we're just waiting for some fight from St. Pauli. Just have to win. We know all about this one, but you get some nice, decent odds. Bookies, of course, are robbing you. Betfair, you've got double the odds, 1.12. Not sure about this one, but a number of Ds. We could see Köln competitive at home. We'll have to wait and see. And you can see how long will you wait to lay that draw at 0-0. How long are you willing to wait? This is a good sign momentum-wise. If it starts going sideways, it's a lovely sign that could be the goal now, as I'm just yabbering on. That's the price you pay for delaying. When do you take the hit? When do you go for it? At a significant support and resistance line at evens, or when? Because if you miss out, you'll have missed out on a nice bit of fun. But the longer you wait, the bigger your returns if you get that single goal. I suspect this will be a goal. Derby County have equalised against QPR, and Accrington leading Crawley. That's one of my watch list matches. They're in such poor form, Accrington, Stanley. They've been catching my eye of late, losing here, there and everywhere. It doesn't mean I'm going to be playing. It just means I've got a story about it. Got Sparta Prague red now as well, which will immediately cross that one off your list. So that's the usefulness of that. Up to you if you want to fancy Bohemians. But we'll keep an eye on Slavia Prague as well. 1.33. As I said, that's where I was heading off, wasn't it? Oh boy. I remember now. So laying over 1.5 goals, you might as well do, in case Sigma Olomouc try to defend that win. Cost you £3.20. Similar liability to that, laying over 0.5 goals in that Pisa Parma match. Slavia Prague +1's likely to be far too skinny for a 1.33 shot. You're likely to see it near those odds or just above them. Bang. Just above them, 1.36. So that's the normal pattern you're going to see when you've had an early goal. The +1 odds are going to be pretty much the pre-match odds if it's an early goal. So you're going to have to go match odds. The only way to get value, you're still not, well, you're getting under 4s for Sigma Olomouc. But the problem with this, and we had it with Hammarby the other day, it leaves you, if you get an equaliser, with a bit of a poor loss on the draw. As you can see here, it's quite significant, 12 quid, which is a third of your full liability if it ends in a draw. But I'm hoping you get that early goal to make it 1-1, incentivises you to stay in, or at the very least, negate that liability. So I think I'll pass this one on to Telegram members. I think I'll take advantage of that 1.33 shot and see if they can do the job. Good afternoon. Czech One League live stream on at the moment. I've laid over 1.5 goals. I've backed Slavia Prague half stake, laid Sigma Olomouc half stake as liability. 26 minutes in for a 1.33 favourite at home, available to back at 2.26. I thought that was a bit of value given their record as well. Hopefully we get a good run for our money. I hope I don't rue going to these lower tier leagues when we've got better quality out there. Live stream is on if you want to head off to YouTube and have a look. Don't know for how much longer. It's been good so far. Got an hour out of it with an improved Wi-Fi connection. So I'll give this a go. This is a risky play because it's such a poor league. Okay. And we haven't confirmed yet the state of that Prague side, because it's a little too early. You have to play it by faith. Barnsley have scored against Lyon. These are my watch list matches, and as you can see, that draw was going to be vulnerable. But I was just wondering whether Auxerre would be parking le bus in front of le goal, because they were stubborn against a better side in Monaco last week. And they do have some fight, but Lyon have that Champions League spot and 2 consecutive wins and improved stats all of a sudden. As you can see, that pressure is told very quickly. That's likely to be the end of my interest in that match. Reggiana and Palermo, well, Reggiana are keeping Palermo very quiet, just that single shot on target second half. I would be happy to be laying that draw late on, given the desperate need for a win for Palermo. Can they pull something out of the hat with late momentum? Nothing doing yet. Second half will reveal. Again, you can wait if you want. If you think that Bosun mentioning Luis Diaz has you thinking somebody of that quality could surely give himself a punt at a goal or two. Are you tempted in to have a tickle here? Have to be a very small play, probably more so backing Bayern. But I did warn you with the Champions League coming up, you're very rarely going to get 26s against a Bayern Munich, failing to score 2 goals only once, and you only need 3 quid to make it near the 100. So £6.25 if you're willing to give that one a wipe off. Look forward to the second half. You surely won't be seeing the big boys out at all. I can't see it. I can't see substitutes changing the match. All I can look for is a 3-1 early enough to put the frighteners up Mainz, and that 2-goal habit of Bayern Munich to kick in. More so with players who will rarely get a first 11 run out. But they haven't shown up, have they? They've got no need to show up. I think it's a bit of fun value, but this is the day to lose, isn't it? Pre-Champions League. So watch out for Paris Saint-Germain when they're playing. They could have a sticky one. Frosinone make it 2-0. I think I'll say goodbye to that one. You can see the significance of that win, which is going to put more pressure on Palermo now in the live standings. That's why I've got a couple of the Italian teams in the standings. Should have laid that draw right at the beginning second half, really. What a pity. Reggiana and Palermo. See the significance of this Frosinone win. It's really helped them into the automatic promotion places on goal difference to Monza, who have already played. Had Frosinone lost, we take 3 points away. Palermo win, they would be, or it would be hit and miss with the goal difference. But Palermo would have had a shout at that win, at that top two, had Frosinone not win. But Palermo still, they've got to pressurise this draw late on. Now with Monza having already played, they know what they must do, Palermo. So we're going to play their time pressure card and hope we don't miss the goal. We can get rid of Fros now. We don't need to be following them. That's what you're expecting, a Champions League side for your relegation threatened side. So maybe that match against Monaco I'm reading far too much into, because this is what you're expecting from a side in the Champions League top three, looking to save that place from Lille. Overthinking Auxerre there. Lay the draw, of course. I prefer to lay the draw late on, like that Middlesbrough Portsmouth one. Really decent, huge gain there. Slovan Liberec scoring, and Pompey after goal against Stoke City. Been in really good form of late, Portsmouth. Beating some of the top five as well. Not on my bankers watch list. You can see the bankers watch list hopefully will have one side dominating the scoreline. That's what I'm expecting. Oxford United is doing a good job against Sheffield Wednesday. I was expecting a bit more of a surprise, a bit more of fun from the Owls picking up those draws of late. And I was expecting a little less from Oxford, but there we go. Doesn't look like there'll be a play in that one. Another goal popping in. That's Lincoln City 1, Wickham 0. Let's have a quick look through. Another shot on target, but they're not sporadic, are they? Well, they are sporadic. Again, every 10 minutes, it suggests that this Reggiana are defensively sound at the moment. But that, I'm going to be, with Frosinone winning 2-0, I am going to be looking 85th, 90th minute at the draw odds, a lot shorter at 1-1. And looking for a late Palermo winner. We can have a quick look, see whether they have any reputation. And that's a goal in my odds-on favourite list. Entella and Padova are 1-0. Let's go Italian Serie B. Let's see if we've got any late goal action expected. So let's take a look at the match. Reggiana and Palermo. Late goal action for both teams as well, because a win, it literally season changer with matches running out. Again, we can see the amount of matches remaining, 3 including today's. Looking at the recent form, of course, who's the form side by an absolute country mile. Scoring 2 goals as well, albeit at home in the last 3 home matches. A little scarce away from home is troubling today for that 1-1 draw, isn't it? 1-0, 1-1 scored away recently. They would have loved a home match today, Palermo. Reggiana scoring 2 goals very rarely against Carrarese. Last match. You've got to be favouring Palermo, haven't you, really, in this run-up? Looking at Reggiana against the top 4, failed to score against second and third. 2-1 loss to Palermo. Palermo would love that one today. Palermo's wins, though, tending to come against 10th and lower away from home. Well, an opening goal for Liverpool today. We will test out my theory about Palace being more decent than they deserve to be in the market. We will see. So we're waiting Palermo and Reggiana. It's gone to odds on now, but it's a shot on target every 10 minutes. And this is the trader's nightmare when you're looking for goals. Sideways momentum. Splitting the momentum screen in half. Nothing doing. Flat as a pancake. That's what you're looking at. Second half beginning for St. Pauli. They've got to look for the win. I don't know if I could trust them today. Going to go for Chesterfield against Crewe. I can get rid of Lyon and Auxerre now. Parma and Pisa. Let's just keep an eye on that 0-0. Parma and Pisa. Now, if you've got your £40 liability now, and you've decided to lay the draw with that full liability, 80 quid, and looks like Mystic Meg here didn't press the button. Oh, can you imagine? You've just pressed the button. No, it looked like the draw is back. So then maybe that's a shot across the bow that you should get involved. So I hope you see you've got that 0-0 is covered still by the insurance from the very start of the match. So it's a play to nothing. As long as it does not end in a score draw, you're creating for yourself really good value, aren't you? Now, if you can get that match to end in anything other than a score draw, you're either going to break even or double your money laying that draw. Just had a goal disallowed for Pisa. Those of you who did lay over 0.5 goals, squeaky bum time if you didn't play. You can see the value of waiting and waiting. Can you imagine if you can lay at 1.1? It's a shot at 380, 390 quid. Hope you're all okay over on YouTube. Not sure how many viewers I've got. I'll have a look later on. So Palermo, still not enough consistent shots on target. I'm going to take Wolfsburg off the watch list. I don't want to play. Got no interest. Similar story. I can't build up a story in my head about these two. St. Pauli I can, if we can see the momentum building. They do need to win. It's a must win for St. Pauli today. Looking highly unlikely. We don't need to be following Mainz and Bayern at all. Say ta-ra to that one. Don't have a strong opinion, Köln and Bayer Leverkusen. Köln, one of those 4 worrying sides on 31, dependent on whether St. Pauli win or not. If St. Pauli lose today, these sides will be wiping the sweat from their brow. Let's see how many matches remain in the Bundesliga, particularly for the relegation threatened sides. So we're all on a uniform 30, pretty much. So let's have a look at St. Pauli. How many matches remain, including today's? You can see that at the bottom of this table here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 12 possible points. Now you see the significance of that 5-point gap. Ah, my instinct to take Crawley Accrington on. I wasn't following the in-play stats, which I wish I had been. It could have suggested that they're gettable. It's just these sides catch my eye. And they can give you a trade or two, can't they? Well, I'll take that off the watch list now. And we can take the Liverpool match off. Or maybe you might see some vulnerability in Liverpool. 2-0 up. Remember what I said. And again, I could show you that. But 4 matches remain in the Bundesliga. So factor that in today. Let's just have a look at Palace's recent form. Make sure I'm not imagining things. So they may be down here. A win will take them within 4 points of the playoffs. And I'm hearing some funny sounds in the condo. I hope it's not a massive lizard or something. So you can see the incentive for Crystal Palace. And looking at their recent form, it's gone a little bit under the radar. 2 defeats since the 1st of February, coming against Burnley and Manchester United. No real standout wins, let's be honest. Brighton, I suppose, the best form side that they've played. But realistically, playing the bottom half in the last 4 matches, in 6 of the last 7 matches playing the bottom half, it's not the massive form I suggested it might be. So it's no harm getting it wrong if you haven't played. That's why they're on the watch list. Looks like poor old Exeter are going to be up against it, doesn't it? I do feel for them. We'll keep an eye on this one. Get into the 40-minute mark. Can they survive to half-time, at least? And Palmer have got the goal 83rd minute. So if you did do that 1.45, you'll see, I think the draw odds start changing. It's suspenders at the moment. So it's all about when you press the button. You see that 1.5, £76 return. Now, if that remains 1-0, boom, you're made. Feyenoord have got the opening goal against Groningen in a season running out of puff, really, in the Eredivisie. It's really in the top echelons of Serie B that we're looking for a goal. Still, they're not doing anything, are they, Palermo? And I said that death knell, that mid-table momentum, the death knell when you're looking for goals. Just keep an eye on Sparta Prague, Slavia Prague, because I don't normally... And we've got a red card for Sigma Olomouc. It's... there we go. Look at that draw. Now, if this ends... Of course, you can green up as well if you're getting a net profit. Because if this ends in 1-0, boom. Let's have a look at Prague now. We've got a significant goal. Significant occurrence there with a red card. That would produce a green screen already. Why? You can make, well, that should have been a small profit, but it's not moving now. So you can make yourself £6, 44p, and do consult a financial advisor about how to invest. So we're sitting pretty here now. We've got half-time team talk for the manager to sort out the advantage of the extra man. Get the equaliser before 60th minute. You'll have the double impact of the red card, which should significantly impact the win odds for Slavia, and you could even get an out at the 1-1. With the net loss of £3.20 insurance. So we're in good standing here with that red card. I don't need to be following the in-play stats for this. I'm just going to hope that we get the scoreline coming up. I'll just get rid of a few of these peripheral ones to stick with the Pragues today. Pragues and the Poulsens tend to deliver. Still, look, do they not realise automatic promotion is far preferable to the heartache of the playoffs, Palermo? The only way they'll get automatic promotion is by turning 68 into 71. Red cards. No, Harrogate goal against Walsall. You know, it needs something special for me to be going down to League Two today. Eintracht Frankfurt goal against Augsburg. Again, it's not a match I have an interest in. 2 shots off target. Sorry, 8 shots off target. Just starting to warm up nicely, St. Pauli. Do you trust them? They're a difficult side to trust, because Heidenheim scored 3 goals against Union Berlin. Scored 2 goals against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Scored 3 goals against Bayer Leverkusen. Could arguably score the second goal here today. Second consecutive goal. So it's a difficult one. This one. It would be filed under very, very, very speculative, given where St. Pauli are in. But just keep an eye on that. You can see the momentum is there from them. Shots off target are there from them. But it's just the reputation is woeful. Frankfurt goal disallowed. Sometimes when you get a goal disallowed, you can regain an interest in the match and just double check to see whether suddenly there was a lurch towards the German side. Sorry, Eintracht Frankfurt. And they do have a reputation for big goal matches or big goal tally matches. So as you can see there, it might renew my interest in the match. That's the only reason I'd be getting involved. 2.3 the favourite pre-match. Very little to conjure up an interest from. Now, if you're feeling mischievous, and you've seen that recent form line for Crystal Palace, although looking deeper into it, really the last 6 matches against the bottom half. So the form lines, despite generally being unbeaten, may not stand up to the scrutiny of a Liverpool away match. But you can see the quick rise in momentum after that second goal. If you're feeling mischievous, then you could always have a lay of Liverpool. They do concede. Crystal Palace have been involved in the Europa League, and again, 1.11 is costing you tuppence halfpenny to find out if you've got an itch to scratch about that. Nice improvement, second half. Good recent form for Palace. Tough side to score 2 against, so will Liverpool score a third? But Liverpool doing a good job. End of the first half. Well, tight as a gnat's chuff, as they say on Viz. No shots on target for Wolves and for Tottenham Hotspur. 5 shots off target and 28 dangerous attacks to 7. I would be looking at 55, 60th minute to bring on Maddison for a second half set piece taking. Could vastly improve the chances of a Tottenham goal breakthrough. Is the draw automatically vulnerable second half, or could 0-0 still be in play? With Wolves keen to, well, they won't be stemming any more tide, but keen to show well in front of home support, who will be supporting them in the Championship next season. We can get rid of Barnett and Gills, can't we? 5-1. Bristol Rovers and Cheltenham, I can get rid of that one. Won't be playing them. Got an Oldham Athletic red card against Newport. Worth having a look. What league is that? Oldham Athletic and Newport. Because it's a team leading. That's why I'm interested. So we'll go to English League 2. Work our way down. There's the red card. Oldham are leading. Just see second half whether Newport's team talk would have any significant impact on the red. Pre-match, 2.35 the favourites, so both sides given a chance. Open the scoring Newport, 2 quick responses from Oldham and a red card. Hopefully the red card will see some change in momentum and a possibility of taking this Oldham lead on. We need to see improved in-play stats second half from Newport. So look forward to that second half. We're getting to the business end and we've got a red card, Reggiana. That should reignite our interest, particularly in a very, can we get to 1.1? Or maybe I reconsider and start getting involved at 1.25 for a £10 total liability. I'll show you how to do that now. So I'm just going to change my stake to £10. That's what I want to win. I'm going to set up at 1.25 to win a tenner. Set up at 1.19 to win a tenner. It's about £2 liability. 1.19 1.14 to win a tenner. £1.09. I can move that up to 23 quid. Keep the liability at 2 quid. And 1.06. I can look to win about 30 quid. Keep the liability under 2 quid. Now, if the goal comes before any of these get matched, I don't win, and I don't lose any money at all. There we go. There we go. I'm about 1.15 odds away. It was an ask against 10 men to expect to get to 1.25. And looks like Reggiana have scored. So I will be scuppering. Unbelievable, Jeff. Unbelievable, Jeff. I told you both sides needed the win. That's why we lay this draw. So I hope you got on before me. Let me know in the comments if you did. Really hope you got on before me. I'm just a little bit too greedy, aren't I? Now, you're not going to get as severe an impact on the draw odds as you would have done with the 11 men scoring first. But surely there's an angle in here to take on Reggiana. Do we now switch from the draw to doing exactly the same, laying Reggiana? Let's give it a go. Although for me, I think they're going to be holding on here. 9-man defence must win. Potential season changer to win a tenner again. 1.09 to win. Oh, that'll probably be the 2-2. No, the goal disallowed for Reggiana. And it's 0-2 to Mansfield now as well. So I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger with Huddersfield. Could be a response from them second half. It's not. Goal disallowed. So we start again. It's good to see this late action. Had I remained in with the other ones, I could have got them all already placed. So 1.25 again, laying that draw. 1.19. Now this is to lose about a tenner, so if that's too much for you, just divide the stake by half. 1.14, because you're not given much time to get the goal you want as well. We're asking for quite a bit here. We're asking for them to score a late winner for us. 1.09, that'll be 20 quid. Oh no, 1.09, £1.80 liability. And finally, 1.06, and that will be £30 liability to lose £1.80. Now we're starting to get matched. So I will leave that to go, and let's hope for some late news. We've already had some excitement late on. I would strongly be favouring Palermo here to do something. Looking a gift horse in the mouth. I didn't get to Frankfurt. I was going to check their stats out, wasn't I? Good enough response, yeah, but no, look at this significant response now. We do have, I think, 3 or 4 minutes remaining as well. And there we go. Parma Pisa ends 1-0. You've just had a lesson in how to lay the draw for a 2-1 return. Not bad, eh? All about getting in at the right time, though, by the skin of your teeth. So an excellent one to show you. Pity I couldn't show you it live with real money. It's really nice when it comes off, particularly when you get an 80th minute plus goal as well and you've stayed in. Oh, this is going to be exciting late on. I'm just going to wait I don't need to follow it. I know my liability, my maximal liability loss here is not going to be worrisome at all. So I hope you're all okay over on YouTube. It's been a bit quiet in the comments today. Frankfurt equaliser, I believe, there. And we're still waiting for St. Pauli to do something, but nothing's going on. Norwich, I would fancy today. 3 wins in 4. Odds on at home. Had a bit of a dip midway through the first half, but got back on 0.96 XG. Creating enough from their 9 shots to have scored at least a goal. So, normally do deliver Norwich. Do they still have incentive? Well, yes, 64 points, 67 with a win today, with the entry point still at 70. So, Norwich, I'll get them on the watch list. Just make sure I save this one. Just having them on the watch list. The draw is at 3.3 currently. Can we trust them to get at least a goal second half? They have been really good second half scorers as well. And the last time I played a Norwich match, they were just perfect. So fingers crossed there. Just going to see second half the reaction from Newport County. West Ham and Everton's far too squeaky bum time, isn't it, for the Hammers? With Everton fighting back at the end of that first half, they're going to be a tough side. You don't want to be meeting a David Moyes side with 3 points taking them to 50. You don't want that motivated Toffees side at this stage of the season. Oh man, good luck for Hammers today. Difficult one to call, even to lay that 0-0. Going to be looking for Newport. Any reaction, possible value lay of a team leading away from home, down to 10. I just wonder. 19 dangerous attacks to 18. Just had that feeling, didn't I? Although on further scrutiny, it wasn't the strongest form on the planet. But when you've only had 2 losses since February, and you can eye Europe if you get a win today, are you tempted in? The best way to play. It costs you nothing. Just to back Palace. You'll need a 2-2 though, very significant. Odds move. They must win if they've got any chance of getting near Europe. So is that enough of an incentive? No shots on target. Is that draw automatically layable? Team news, I think, significant second half. And again, Toya Wilcox would say it's a mystery, while Sheffield United have been odds-on favourite in recent matches. A total lack of incentive for either side to bust a gut and get a win. They're not going to be going up. They're not going to be going down. So I think really I should just take that one off. I do fear for Exeter. Burton, by far the best momentum, but the important scoreline is Exeter's. They really do need to hold on to that win. But are they good enough? Are they good enough? We've got a Barcelona opener against Getafe. Well, job done there. No longer in the Champions League, so they can be fully invested in the remaining league matches. So still open, Reggiana and Palermo. If it ends 1-1, I know my maximum liability, so I don't really have to worry too much. Let's see if we can get the Palermo match. So there we go. At the moment, that's a £10 liability for an £80 gain. Hopefully, get a late set piece for Palermo, who must do something. So we're just waiting for the half times to begin. And while that is waiting, I will just go and grab myself something to drink. I'll see you very soon. Right. Some goals coming in. Just have something to eat as well. I have been on the bike for 6 hours. Nout to eat. Oh, not another goal disallowed. Oh, come on, eh? Oh, that could have been a wonderful start. That would 2 late goals disallowed for Reggiana. Or was that the previous goal? Just a bit of a snack. So we can get rid of these matches now. St. Pauli don't look as if they're going to strike, do they? That, as I say, when you're looking for goals and it's all sideways, 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 it's just a sign that either Heidenheim's defence is solid or St. Pauli's attack is just lacking. Heidenheim, you'd still think, could have 2 goals in them as well. I would have expected more for St. Pauli. They did have a late equaliser against Stuttgart, so could be a late play of Heidenheim. Very speculative, though. And we'll just have a look at Norwich, because I think Norwich are have been scoring second half goals of late. So I'll see if I'm right or not. Look at that. 67 with a win today. Wrexham are keeping a lot of sides interested in the playoffs, but those sides must get 3 points today. Matches are running out, but Wrexham are keeping the entry point low enough to be gettable. Second half goal, 80th minute. 4 second half goals. Looks like Mohamed Toure is the boy to be with, so he has to be playing today. Toure. Second half goals. So in the 3 of the last 4 matches, they've scored second half goals. Norwich. Have a look at how they perform with home advantage. 58% of the goals scored have come second half. A whopping 63% though conceded. 2/3 conceded second half. A concern for the Canaries. And this one here suggests that could be substitutions playing a part in the change there. Not really interested in Leverkusen, but it's going the way I expected. I thought that was pretty decent odds about Bayern. Bayern Munich are fighting back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Enjoy the party. I didn't expect them to do anything. So you can take your green now if you wanted. Now, this is a difficult match to weigh up. It's not much more additional on the draw. They've scored the 2 goals we expected them to score, haven't they? Don't need to win. I'm not expecting a winner. For the liability, that's a 2-to-1 return. You can stay in if you want. Again, the liability was so low. It's worth your while, isn't it? Or you could play like that. Small fiver on the draw. 81 if buy and pull it off. At least you come out of it with something. That was an amazing. Nicholas Jackson and, well, bringing on Michael Elise. Again, one of the... it would surprise me greatly. I don't understand this. Why on earth are you risking these guys? Strange. Right, just stuffing my face. Another lead for Accrington Stanley. So just keep an eye. I'll take that one off the watch list. And another shot off target for St. Pauli. Is it enough? It's not enough for me. This could damn them to relegation. Heidenheim know better though, of course. But Heidenheim with a win. 22 points. They will be looking for that relegation playoff place rather than automatic relegation. So it's still important in that battle. Take points off your nearest rival, St. Pauli. St. Pauli, though, could have condemned Heidenheim today. Keep Heidenheim under 20 points. Push up to 29. Bring in the 31-point crew into the equation. Hamburg particularly got a tough match later on. But I'm not going to be... we got the 2-2 already for Newport County. Right at the beginning of the second half. Nothing I could do about that. Great team talk. I'm going to put forward that Liverpool lay just for fun. I've laid Liverpool at 1.12. Oh. I've laid Liverpool at 1.12 and small back of Crystal Palace. Getting involved 2-0 up. Can Palace continue the good form since February? And we know very well Liverpool do concede, do give sides a chance. It's a lay to nothing. The liability you'll see will be very low. And the returns will be pretty decent if we can get a 2-1 from Palace. Not much else at the moment. So second half's beginning, you're going to see, I would suspect, Luton's draw would be vulnerable. Wonder if we'll see a response from the Terriers. I wonder if we'll see a 3-3 from Bayern Munich. That would be very nice indeed. But no goals? No. Definite interest for me now. I hope I don't rue the fact that Swans have won 2 of the last 3. But Norwich have been very, very reliable. This must be 3-3. It's 3-3, so you've moved up to 28 quid. What a response from Bayern Munich. Total and utter throwaway lay. That's why you get involved at these kind of odds. It's a throwaway. I think I'm going to take the 29. Although, watch Harry McCain come up with a late winner. 30 quid. Superb. What a response from Bayern Munich. Unbelievable. They've got no chance, have they? Who you bring on at half-time? Sir Harry of Kane and Michael Elise, for goodness sake. Unbelievable. Well, St. Pauli paying the price for just not landing a blow. And as I warned you, they've got a second goal in them, don't they, Heidenheim? Pity they didn't discover their 2-goal scoring habit until they were bottom of the league. Norwich and the Swans, yes. I'm going to play this one automatically. Again, Norwich are going to pressure us into looking for them to get the win. That's the problem, unless we get decent odds to cover the draw. So far, they've been ultra reliable, like Luton Town. I just hope they've got one last hurrah in them. +1 has to be significantly greater than 1.3. And it's not, is it? It's 1.9. So if you just want to stay on the draw, that's probably Bayern Munich rubbing it in my face. So you'd still make net 34 minus 12. Match odds. Well, they have been scoring 2 goals second half of late, haven't they? We'll need a bit of that today. It's only half an hour to go. It's a bit of an ask. How much are we going to be losing if this ends a draw? Or you can back Norwich and lay the Swans. I would prefer +1, if I'm perfectly honest with you. I think a 1-1 easier to get in half an hour than a 2-1. But total loss will be about 14 quid if it ends in a draw. I will monitor this one in case Norwich don't turn up, but they're looking good. They have been great to watch as well. Nil 3 Mansfield. So the Terriers not turning up today, or will they turn up after 0-3? I've followed them with interest and I thought they were far better than this. Just glad I didn't get involved earlier. It's on a speculative day. They don't have the forward line of a Bayern Munich though, Huddersfield. But you've seen they do come off. So don't poo-poo them. There we go, just a quick £2.50 liability. Don't forget there's a whole half to go. We can have a look. English League One. Is it English League One? English League One, yes. I can't see the Terriers. Oh, on the left. I was looking at these ones. Senior moment. Well, you can see the draws. Good sign. You see a 3-3 is a good sign. A 2-2 is a good sign. And they've all come 3-3 latest is a very nice sign indeed, given the fact they all came second half. Now, David Kasumo. Well, I can't complain about that. I can't complain about 3 goals here either, coming second half. Full steam ahead. Yeah? Full steam ahead. The market expected, but they haven't performed. Great entry point with a significant proportion of the half to go and 2 recent matches with 3-goal habits. What seems to be a speculative Saturday. I'm laying Mansfield 0-3 up after 54 minutes away at Huddersfield. Interestingly, Huddersfield have scored 3 goals in 2 of their recent matches in the second half. We've got 35 minutes to go. I'm laying Mansfield at 1.06, 1.07, backing Huddersfield, very small stakes, at 95. Did we get another 3-goal haul from the Terriers at home? I think that's a very good play. Boom, boom. Right, we've got Norwich in our sights now. Be nice to get that quick 1-1. I don't want to end up with a loss, which you'll get on the draw, of course. They've done it. That was 91 quid. Bayern Munich. Did you stay in, anybody? Not too enthusiastic today in the comments. Unbelievable stuff from Bayern Munich. And Crawley have done it again in my watch list. So let's have a look at my watch lists, and it's coming alive just at the right time, particularly for us with Slavia Prague. So let's have a break and have a look at Slavia Prague. Reggiana. Let's have a look. Slavia Prague, where are you? There we are. The impact of the red card should give us something to think about. So this is your first possible cash out opportunity. Don't forget to wait for the markets to tighten up in a liquid market. So just wait for it to tighten. You can take that green if you want, because it's all way up. There's a half an hour to go against 10 men, and you've already equalised. You were 1.33 pre-match. It all looks quite nice, doesn't it, for you to take a hit on that 12 quid in the logical look for that 30 plus. So we're in a good position here with Slavia Prague. These are all my watch list matches, as you can see, all got a story in them. Some of them I didn't play, like the Accrington one, taking them on after leading twice. Some of them I have played. Norwich, Huddersfield, given those 2 3-3s of late. Got to. It's not as if they don't have a 3-goal habit in the second half, is it? So what an entry point. And as we feared, Exeter couldn't last out. Had I had more confidence in this league, that would have been a play, wouldn't it? So you can see the value of this shortlist. It's bringing in some great matches. Look at that Orcs there, scoring 2 goals yet again. And what a performance from Bayern Munich. A throwaway lay of Mainz and Bayern Munich pre-Champions League. I don't know why Vincent Kompany's risking this. Can you imagine if Kane gets a late injury or Elise gets a late injury? It would be devastating. They don't need to win. Very strange managerial decision, that one. Venezia are about to kick off, looking to stay top of the league. And Bohemians take advantage of the red card for Sparta Prague and make it 2-0. Slavia Prague, we're in a good position with, aren't we? With that 1-1. With half an hour to go. Norwich, they seem to have hit two solid momentum phases in the first half, but have gone a little bit quiet, or are being kept quiet by the Swans. Incentive is huge for Norwich, and indeed for Swansea as well. It's one of those matches for the Swans, got to take points off Norwich and then try to win their next match. 70 is the key. And the only way for Norwich to get there quickly enough is to win today. 67 points today. They can turn this one around. West Ham and Everton, crucial goal against the Toffees. It's not a match I want to play, just wish West Ham well. Newport and Oldham, up to you if you played that one. I was waiting. Oh, no, it's not 2-3. Don't be silly. It's 1-3. The fight back begins, and it's come nice and early in proceedings. Now, these are tightened up. You can see that's a decent enough return. I can't remember what the liability was on the insurance, but I don't think it would have been much, or depending on when I get involved. I'm quite happy to see how much it will cost to get rid of the liability and load up on Sigma Olomouc, on Slavia Prague. This will be the important liability. So it's pennies so far. Can I get rid of this 12 quid? So from 31 to 24, I'm quite happy with that. And wait for that draw to get matched. Accrington have done it again, so let's have a look at Huddersfield first. Now that 17 is still going to be available if I change my mind. If I fancy topping up the bank, boom, that would be great. Norwich and the Swans, where are we going? Huddersfield and Mansfield. First goal of 3. Is it going to be the second goal of 3? The wrong scoreline. What a pity. Accrington Stanley might be gettable again. They've led twice already. So these are my watch list matches. Oxford United, we can get rid of that one now, can't we? Significant scoreline. And get rid of a few of these. What a performance from Bayern Munich. Wow. So we'll clean Football 24 up a bit. Liverpool and Palace. I don't need to know the scorelines. I've got a small lay of Liverpool in. Be fun if it comes off. But as I said, when I looked at the form again for Palace, it was mostly bottom half. Wolves and the Spuds. Are we getting any pressure on the shots on and off target? Well, no. This is too nervy, isn't it? Far too nervy for Tottenham at the moment. We can get rid of that. We don't need to be reminded of these heavy leads. Portsmouth against Stoke. Did we look at that one? Not sure. Get rid of Plymouth Argyle. Lincoln 3-1 up, but not Huddersfield. We're not getting rid of that one. We've still got 25 minutes to go to get another goal to get that 3-3 alive. Already a 2-0 lead for Feyenoord. Nacional as well. So we can just tidy this up. so we get less distracted. Have a look at Accrington. If you've got a death wish, you can keep playing Accrington when they lead. If you fancied it. Or you could back Crawley Town, that would be the value, wouldn't it? Keep your liability very low. Just to have a marginal interest. Because if we get that goal again, well, bang goes the fun and games with the Terriers today. 1-4 for Mansfield. So even if we do get 3 goals from Huddersfield, we're not going to get much change. But you can see the argument for it, can't you? Boom, boom. Oh, still remains 1-3. Good, we're still alive. So Sparta Prague and Sigma Olomouc, 20 minutes to go. If you're staying in with an already accepted loss on the draw in the hope of that win. We've got a good incentive, don't we? They're playing 10 men. They've got 20 minutes to go. They're at home. And they've come back from behind quickly. West Ham and the Spuds, impossible to call. Wolves and Tottenham, impossible to call, particularly with no shots on target for either side. Norwich, I've decided to take on the Swans, although I prefer +1 because we're now 70 minutes in for Norwich. And the closer we get at 0-1, the nearer the draw will be in play. And with the draw comes a loss, even though you've called it right. You can see why I preferred +1 in this Norwich match. A little bit too late in the match to trust a quick 2-goal response, particularly at this stage of the season. I don't think that goal has stood. We'll have to confirm that. Vital playoff 6-pointer, Bradford and Bolton. That 0-0 certainly gettable very, very late on. Take points off your nearest rival again. All these two sides have to go for now is the playoffs. They can't go automatic promotion. Playoffs only. Looks like Mansfield have confirmed that 4th goal. What a pity. We were cruising to a 1-3 and then a 2-3 and then a 3-3 and then a 4-3 like Bayern Munich. But not today for the Terriers. Yeah, Norwich, not seeing them. What you can do with a match like Norwich, and again, the advantage of going +1, you could get out. Is this another 3-3? Looks like it is. You can see just by having a little bit of fun at this stage of the season with speculative staking at speculative odds, you can start building up or collecting some decent returns relative to the amount risked. Likely now it's going to be 4-3. So it's a bit of fun there from Accrington Stanley. That's why they're on the shortlist. And you can see Huddersfield were a bit disappointed there for that 1-4. They're really giving a good account. I was just heading off to Norwich because it could be one to do a Gareth Bale. So it's a £14 loss here currently. And then you've got to look. Yes, I might take that because it's only a £4 or £6 loss. It's 2-1. Yeah, lovely, jubbly. Mischievous, I would describe Palace today. Possibly mischievous. Now, does that goal count? Because that would be fantastic. well timed as well. 20 minutes to go. Put the frighteners up, Liverpool. Has that goal stood? Indeed it has. And Crawley make it 3-3 as well, as you see. And that was a decent enough return, wasn't it, for the amount risked? So fun and games here, Liverpool and Crystal Palace. Lovely, jubbly. Let's just check Accrington out. Can we rely on Crawley to do something today? Liverpool match. Looks like the goal has been disallowed. What a pity. Perfectly timed as well to impact and put the frighteners up. That doesn't look like a 2-1 scoreline. I'll have to confirm. That's how things stand. Accrington and Crawley with 20 minutes to go. Of course, we're going to be expecting another goal from somebody. It tends to be Accrington doing the scoring first, though. That's the problem. I loaded up on Crawley Town, but it's an over 2-1 return. Yeah, 2-1, and they're 1.2. I suppose that's about right, isn't it? Munoz getting the goal. And looks like Alexander Isak is getting longer time on the pitch as well. And that's what I was warning you about. Liverpool do concede. 7 shots on target for Palace. Really going for this European slot, and they have to win. They have to win. 1.17 XG. 1.46 XG is pretty decent for Palace. Second half 0.2. They've been kept a little quiet, but have got the goal importantly. Looking at I like the touches inside the opposition box. Double for Liverpool. It's always an indicator. That's about it at the moment there. So that 2-2 would be very welcome indeed. Hope you're all okay over on YouTube. Mike32. Hope you played, Stephen. I hope you put the Stephen Francis millions on a Bayern Munich comeback there. Very speculative. What a brilliant return. Superb stuff. Derby County 2-2 against QPR. I don't have a strong angle on that one myself. I think Huddersfield, Norwich, I think might be one. What I could do, I could take the profit here, use the profit here to negate some of the liability on the Norwich match. Does that make sense? So let's see. Right, it's got a £6 profit here. I'm not seeing anything from Norwich, which is a problem. Knowing that, they'll score 2 80th plus minute winners and throw it in my face. So I've got a £6.13. Add that to this, makes £19.78. Bang. 20 quid, 1978. I'm out. I'm just not feeling it with Norwich, with the Canaries today. It's too late to look for the win. +1, I'd have remained in the match at +1. So do you see that makes sense, doesn't it? I've created for myself over 2 matches a break even on 1, if I can get out. So excellent stuff. Okay. Okay. Yeah. As you can see. Right. That's what got me unable to show you that. 21. Now watch this. Norwich are going to go on, equalise and get the win. Sod's law. Bradford and Bolton in a must-win for these two sides for the playoff places. Must take points off your nearest rival and secure your spot as early as possible. That draw is going to be vulnerable late on, that's for sure. We're getting a bit late now for Tottenham to start thinking about getting a winner. I don't know why they just don't go for the jugular, because this is far too cautious. It's ridiculous. You're giving yourself extreme time pressure now to get a winner, which could change your season literally. And now with the Hammers being pressured by Everton, Tottenham better get a shift on. Only the one shot on target. Don't need Livingston and St Mirren. So what do we do about the Spuds? Only one shot on target, but look at this momentum again. You can see it's not an attacking match, is it? These two have pretty much cancelled each other out. Again, not the side you want to be meeting when you're relegation threatened. A side got nothing to lose. Surprised not to see Luton across the line just yet. Problem is, well, no, the last match, 2 goals came in the first half. They did score second half against Northampton, but they're a relegation threatened side. Northampton, Barnsley a bit better. Scored a second half goal against Stockport. I would have expected a bit more from them, as did the expected goals of 2.28. I'm just fearing for West Ham at the moment. You can see that. Yeah, as soon as I bail out of Norwich, of course, they start going for glory now. Watch a nice, quick 2-1 win for them. There we go. There we go.